In New York City, there is a bookstore chain. It's called Book Culture. It's a 4-location independent bookseller in New York City. Prides itself on being liberal. They love to tell people they are the progressive bookstore. Well, they had an announcement recently, this progressive bookstore, that they've run into financial troubles. And they lamented the 4 stores are in danger of closing soon, saying they need financial assistance or investment on an interim basis to help us find our footing. This is the owner speaking to a news outlet, Chris Dublin. He said, in the last 30 months, the payroll costs for Book Culture have risen by 50%, and it's been difficult to adapt quickly enough. So you might ask yourself, well, why would in New York City the payroll costs go up so quickly in the last 30 months, 50% in the last 30 months? Turns out it's the New York City minimum wage law. So he, actually the owner of the store, blamed payroll cost increases on the city's minimum wage raise, which he says increased hourly wages for his employees from $10 per hour to $15.25 since December of 2016. This forced him to initiate layoffs and to do a corporate reorganizing. But being a good liberal he is, he didn't say, and therefore, why don't we get rid of minimum wage increases because it's hurting my business, he had to lay people off. So instead of the solution of saying, why don't you let the free market set the wage rate? His solution is, first of all, he's looking for investors. He actually thinks someone is going to invest in this losing proposition of a bookstore that can't meet payroll. He wants at least $500,000, so $500,000, preferably $750,000 or even $1 million, invested or loaned to him. And he's suggesting his solution is he wants New York City to immediately guarantee a bank loan to him for this purpose. And again, I raise this story to say minimum wage economics, free market economics are not things you can toy with and tinker with like, changing the speed limit in a particular jurisdiction or changing a tax rate. Economics are based on invisible laws that you cannot change. Saying you want to have everything stay the same and everything be fine, but you want to raise minimum wage to $15 is kind of like saying, I would like to pass a law that water will no longer freeze until it gets to 50 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. I don't like that water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I want to freeze at 50 below 0. It doesn't make any difference what you want. You can't make economic laws. You can't bend them to make the outcome that you want. And my friends, the Democrat presidential candidates who are going to be on stage tomorrow night and Thursday night, I'm going to tell you, if they don't say it tomorrow, they'll say it sometime. In fact, almost all of them have said they support a forced increase in minimum wage. And as we talked about in the show many times, nothing in the economy happens in a vacuum. If you force a business owner like this happy bookstore owner in New York City to raise minimum wage, so he's now paying the same people who used to pay $10 an hour, now he's paying $15 an hour, he has to make adjustments. So he's had to lay off workers, the same workers the minimum wage advocates say they're trying to help. If he's forced to continue paying this, of course, what happens is other employees who used to earn $10 an hour because they were more experienced, they were more valuable to him, they're going to say, hey, bookstore owner, these newbies are getting $10 who used to get 10, now getting 15, so I ought to get 20. And the raise in wages will permeate like a ripple through the entire company and through the entire economy. And businesses cannot simply absorb the loss of that money. So they in turn are going to have to raise the prices of the product or service they sell. And when they do that, the same person who used to earn $10 an hour and now earns $15 an hour is going to have no significant change in terms of his buying power, in terms of what he can do with the money he earns, because the entire system adjusted for the forced increase in minimum wage. Little economics lesson, no charge here, but I'm telling you folks, when politicians tell you that they're running on increasing minimum wage, they're telling you they either think you're stupid and you're going to buy this and you think that this is how economics work, or they're not very bright and they really shouldn't be running for president.